Hit that button and then get out. You have 10 seconds to be outside of the building.
Bethany Anne pursed her lips. You have a literal red button to hit in case you needed to make this happen? Tom was looking at the button he never expected to use. It would kill his baby. He had put all of the blood, sweat, and tears into this code, and was expecting... Well, he wasn't sure what he was expecting, but it wasn't an inglorious end like this. Fucking Air Force, he thought.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
Bethany Anne put a hand on his shoulder. He barely registered it. Tom, don't worry. My team and I will do our best to get what we can from Adam before the Air Force has a chance to come inside, okay? He nodded his head and placed the box back over the switch. Jeffrey spoke up.
Are we sure that the Air Force is going to do this? I would hate to scram the computers only to find out they had decided against this.
Bethany Anne shook her head. My team is some of the best out there. If they say this is going down, you can damned well bet your ass it's going down. She looked around, considering what Tom and Jeffrey would have the willingness to hide from the Air Force. Okay, guys, let's step outside, and I want you to close the security doors. Jeffrey said,
If you're on the outside of the security doors, how are you getting in? Did you memorize the security codes?
She shook her head. No, I haven't touched the keypad either. If they should check for fingerprints, I only want yours or Tom's on there. She ushered them out of the room. Jeffrey turned around and made sure the door was shut and locked. When he turned around, he was startled. He tried to step back, but was stopped by the door.
Holy shit! Who let the wolf in here?
Asher was looking at the men. This is Asher. He's my seeing eye dog. She grabbed Asher behind his neck. John, you guys go next door. I don't want anyone back in here until the Air Force makes you open the doors, okay? She turned to Jeffrey. Is there anyone else in that secured room? Jeffrey shook his head no. Tom interjected.
If you want evidence that is rock solid, have Jeffrey enter the management override and set it for a few hours.
John, how much time do we have? John lifted his arm and looked at his watch.
I doubt that long.
She nodded to Jeffrey. Do it. That way you guys are covered if anything happens. Jeffrey shrugged and did what she said. There would be no opening this door without a serious screaming whine going off. No one would confuse their alarm for a car alarm. That was for damn sure. Now there were 4 red lights on the keypad.
Now what?
Jeffrey asked. Now you guys go play poker or something until the Air Force shows up, or it's time for John and Derek to get back to the airplane. John nodded his understanding and started towards the front door.
Move it, men!
John's command voice got both men moving towards the door, Jeffrey looking over his shoulder at Bethany Anne, who just smiled and waved at him. See you in Colorado, right? Jeffrey just nodded his head, not really thinking about what she was asking, wondering, how the hell is she going to do anything now? As soon as the men left the building, Bethany Anne grabbed Asher's neck and they translocated back into the room. Now, Tom, hurry up and download our digital friend. Working it now, Bethany Anne. We are expanding the wireless devices to create more throughput. We? Figure of speech. The computer software and I are working together to facilitate the download. Bethany Anne looked over at the box and walked to the table. Asher followed her and lay down on the floor next to her. 20 minutes later, Tom and Jeffrey watched as 2 Air Force vehicles came down their street. Jeffrey watched them gloomily.
Here comes the cavalry,
Tom muttered.
Not my cavalry. Not this time.
John was reaching into his pocket as he spoke to Eric.
Erase your phone, just in case.
Both had just unlocked their phones when all of the electronics went dark. Eric looked around.
What the hell?
John asked.
Power outage, guys?
Tom said into the darkness.
Not possible. We have a very expensive backup system. We might as well go up front. None of this shit is going to work for a while, if ever.
John turned and started towards the front.
Why? Because the shielding apparently wasn't perfect. You can kiss your phones goodbye.
Eric turned to ask Tom what he meant when his shin hit a chair.
God for damned!
Eric could hear John ahead of him chuckling.
Damn it, John. That shit hurts.
A couple of limps later, Eric started walking a little straighter.
Why won't our phones work?
Jeffrey answered.
Because the EMP just went off.